grab your ghoul repellent and get ready for Scooby Doo on Zombie Island, because this time the monsters are real.
You would not believe the disappointment I had watching this movie after seeing this trailer and that cool bat creature, and then in the movie, it's not a real monster. I will never forgive them for that. Hey guys, Blazie here, and welcome to my review of Scooby Doo on Zombie Island that came out in 1998, 10 years after the release of The Reluctant Werewolf, and a lot has changed and happened in that time. Scrappy is gone and the gang is back, thanks to Scooby Doo having a resurgence in the 90s due to Cartoon Network and the like playing reruns. We now have the first straight-to-video movie, and you know it's the first because they had full freedom, and you can tell. This movie is dark, creepy, fun, comedic, and all-round a great movie. But I will get into some of the sad first. We have a new crew of voice actors, and I'm sorry for how I'm going to pronounce their names. I apologize, I don't think I've ever said them out loud. Scott Ines voices Scooby Doo for the first time, as sadly Don Messick, the original voice of Scooby, passed away in 1997. He does Scooby's voice for the next few movies, and even does Shaggy after this one, and is the voice you hear in pretty much all the Scooby Doo games. In this movie, Billy West voices Shaggy, as hilariously enough, Casey Kasem left because he wanted Shaggy to be vegan like himself, but it was already too late to change that. BJ Ward voices Velma, who previously voiced Googie. Mary Kay Bergman voices Daphne, who sadly took her own life not long after, but did voice her for the next two movies that came out after her death. And then we have Frank Welker back as Fred. So there's a lot of back scene stuff. But how is the movie? Well, it's bloody brilliant. Sorry for my English, but my god, I love this movie. The animation is absolutely gorgeous. There's some incredible lighting going on in this movie, with fun animation, with an amazing storyline that seems simple on the surface, but becomes something so much more that it's just something beyond just a basic Scooby-Doo thing. I need to talk about this movie in full because it's just so gorgeous. So let's get into Scooby Doo on Zombie Island. It opens up with, well, what else? Shaggy screaming out, "Scooby Doo, where are you?"
Scooby Doo, where are you?
And that theme song plays as they are chased around by a monster, and it's kinda intense, but it's a very classic feeling kind of sequence. That's just a great opening to this movie, showing the new visual style that is simply gorgeous. But this was a year ago. The team split up thanks to Daphne wanting to find real monsters, never mind capturing criminals. Kinda dumb considering the good they do, but this movie makes out Mystery Inc. to be a kinda ghost monster hunting job. Which is fine, it's just the way they make it kind of seem like it was a job. Daphne now wants a show called Coast to Coast and works alongside Fred, and now she wants to try one more time at finding a real monster in Louisiana. While Velma owns a mystery bookshop and Shaggy and Scooby work at the airport. And I do believe Scooby is now a drug sniffer dog. Hilarious. Okay, so sniffing out food in particular, but let's be real here, he's a drug sniffing dog. I mean, food is their drug, so I'm not wrong. Of course they eat the food they find. Some artists enjoyed making them fat like that. I like them saying that they're going to starve.
So what if this was like the greatest gig ever? So what if we starve? Turn to skin and bones?
This leads to them being fired, but Fred calls them up, and in the next scene, everyone is reunited to help Daphne. I can't help but notice the connection that this is the first time the gang has gotten together since sometime in the 80s, so this story kind of makes sense. I like the little parallels there. I also like this scene of Velma offering up Scooby snacks.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Go on, guys.
Now it's time to go monster hunting. There's a montage with a pretty damn good song.
fake.
It's a fun sequence of Scooby and Shaggy getting into trouble as they do, yet somehow capturing the monster. And yes, I'm still upset by the bat. After several failed attempts at fighting a real monster, they meet Lena, who works at a parent haunted house out in the bayou on Moonscar Island. With it being the only lead they have, they decide to go with her. But not before we have a Fred and Daphne moment that hints a little at her jealousy.
And that Lena is kind of cute.
Fred.
I just meant she'd be real photogenic for our segment.
Right. Wipe your upper lip, Romeo.
This is the movie that started the whole romance vibes between Fred and Daphne. And they handled it pretty well, I think, for, to kind of start it off. I think they handled it pretty well. But this is also the start of Scooby and Shaggy being into hot food, mostly chilies. This movie did a lot with the gang moving forward. So they head to a ferry where they meet Jock, voiced by Jim Cummings, the ferry master who takes them to the island. But along the way, Lena mentions she didn't realize they had a dog, as the owner of the house has a lot of cats. But this is the first instance of this joke.
I didn't know you had a dog.
Dog? Where?
Scooby not understanding that he's a dog is kind of hilarious, because in the end, Scooby is Scooby. And then we get a scene of a catfish splashing water at Scooby, so he gets angry and tries to grab it, sending him and Shaggy into the water, where they are chased by gators. Which, can I say, I love this shot here. It just looks so nice with the water sparkling like it is. But it all leads to meeting Snakebite, voiced by Mark Hamill. He also has a hunting pig named Mojo, so we're getting a few suspects in other words. They arrive at Moonscar Island, where the road is a little bumpy.
Ready? Follow me and hang on. The road's a little bumpy.
But also, it's full of cats. We get a fun sequence of Scooby chasing them down, as a dog does. I like this little moment with the cats.
Rats.
Scooby, leave them alone.
And this moment of Scooby knocking over the gardener named Bo, voiced by Cam Clark.
Excuse me.
If you recognize that name, it's because I mentioned that he's the singing voice of Simba in Lion King 2 and voices him in the Timon and Pumbaa series. It ends as we meet the owner of the house, Simone. At first, she seems reluctant, explaining that yes, it's haunted and is a pepper plant plantation, so that makes Scooby and Shaggy happy to stay. Luckily, she forgave him for chasing the cats, but they have to stay in the kitchen while showing the others around. Being who they are, they decide to try out some of the peppers, leading them to screaming in pain, and the others come rushing in to check on them. And then again, being who they are, they dare each other to try again, but this time they scream from writing that appeared on the wall. The others see the writing, and then suddenly Velma starts to levitate as Fred and Daphne were filming. This line here, a lot of people point to Daph liking Velma, completely missing the point of the scene and the context, and the fact her and Fred have a thing in this movie as well, but it's funny to think about.
This just gets better and better. Maybe from where you're standing.
Next scene is going through the footage and seeing the ghost of pirate Morgan Moonscar. Velma then destroys the kitchen looking for clues, giving us the word Maelstrom, the name of a pirate's ship, and it's rumored he left buried treasure on the island. It's basically trying to give us all the clues you expect out of a Scooby Doo show, and even Fred thinks he understands what's going on.
Treasure? Aha! I knew it! It's some guy disguised as a pirate ghost trying to scare everyone off the island.
It is fun they added these kind of scenes. During this time, Scooby and Shaggy decide to ditch the house and go have a picnic. But we get another sequence of Scooby chasing cats, which is where they make it very cartoony in a way that feels wrong. Like, I don't know if that over-the-top cartooniness works for this style of movie. It feels almost out of place, like they needed to keep kids entertained. But I don't hate it, it's fine. It leads to meeting Snakebite and Mojo again, and then falling down a hole. A hole? It leads to meeting Snakebite and Mojo again, and then falling down a hole.
Zoinks! How humiliating! Chased into a hole by 1/3 of a BLT.
Okay, that's funny. Now this is where the movie takes a creepy turn. They try to get out of the hole and uncover a skeleton, and I'm going to just show you as much of the clip as I can. I adore this moment. I absolutely love the sound effects. The sound design is a work of art, and the animation of like the green thing coming down to inhabit the skeleton, making it fall out and then stand up and like slowly forms like all the skin and hair and clothing and becoming a zombie or Morgan Moonscar. Absolute work of cinema. As I said, I adore this moment. Such a great introduction to what this movie really is. Shaggy and Scooby run away and bump into Bo. The zombie is gone as the others show up. They go back to the hole and find out Bo is the one who is like digging things up, but won't explain why it's so big. Daphne wants to find out how big Bo is.
He is suspicious, but he is kinda cute.
Well, if we're all through here, maybe we should get going?
I love that Fred gets instantly jealous. This does kind of start a whole thing where like Fred is jealous of Bo while Daphne becomes jealous of Lena. It's very much these two do like each other kind of thing. Simone welcomes them back to the house, offering food, so that instantly makes Scooby and Shaggy happy. They showed their wombs, we get a cute moment of Scooby trying to imitate an owl. It's very cute as his eyes bulge out, and then jump scared by another ghost telling them to stay away, while Fred tries on his ascot. Nice little callback there. Simone mentioned there was a Civil War regiment on the island at one point, so that's why it looked like that. Next is dinner. Scooby and Shaggy end up eating outside due to Scooby going after the cats again.
But I'm afraid your dog will have to eat in the kitchen.
Dog? Where?
Like, come on, old buddy.
They eat a bunch of crawfish and then more cats show up, so they find a new place to eat. Of course, challenging each other to eat some of the peppers again. Once they do, they run outside to wash their mouths in nearby water. Yum, bayou water. I'm sure that tastes great. But now the movie really starts to kick off as the same green glow appears from before with that awesome sound effect and visuals of the moon and everything. Another scene I just adore. So more zombies appear, they quickly run back to the van, get a little jump scare, some cool visuals with the van lighting up one of the zombies. The van gets stuck in the mud, forcing them to start running and bumping into Bo, that they think is also a zombie. Little silly, but they are scared out of their minds, so it's fine. The others hear their screams and also run into Bo, with Velma in particular being highly suspicious of him. They decide to split up with Daphne wanting to go with Bo, most likely to make Fred jealous. But Velma goes with him. We get this one really cool shot as they walk together and Velma explains her suspicious on him. Daphne and Fred find the van and Daphne flips the zombie out of the bush, showing she ain't the same Daphne that we used to know, and Shaggy and Scooby are here too. So Fred tries to remove the zombie's mask, but it's not a mask. It's a real head he just whips off. It's a fun, creepy moment, and then once again, the green glowy thing comes down and more zombies appear. Scooby and Shaggy run as we then hear Lena screams, so Fred wants to go rescue them, but also trips and loses the camera in quicksand, getting rid of the evidence they had of real monsters. So now it's just survival. But also now is one of the best Scooby Doo songs and Halloween songs. I seriously put this on every Halloween. I absolutely love this moment with hella good music that I can't show you guys. I can show you just tiny little clips of it. I suggest that you go watch this scene on YouTube or somewhere where someone's not afraid of copyright.
You hear the screeching of an owl, you hear the wind begin to howl. You know there's zombies on the prowl, and it's terror time again.
Like seriously, you need to look up this moment or just the song Terror Time. But I not only love this moment for the music, but the visuals too. The nighttime parts are just really well done with the lighting, the moon in the background. The look of the zombies are creepy and iconic. But they added some quirky fun with Scooby falling into quicksand, Shaggy at first grabbing a snake, but then a zombie hands him a vine. A zombie gets cut in half, which again is kind of creepy. But it is fun, and then we see Snakebite is out here fishing, which makes Scooby and Shaggy go rolling down a hill and into a cave, while the others meet up with Velma and Bo. Seriously, it's an amazing segment. Shaggy and Scooby stop thinking about the zombies and play with some dolls, voodoo dolls to be exact, which are of the gang. So that explains how Velma was floating earlier, as we then see the others all start to float. The others end up in a secret tunnel with Lena, who says Simone was dragged away by the zombies, though Velma has her suspicions. It's a little pointless as they go down the tunnel and suddenly things get really weird but kinda awesome. A hole opens up above the moon dial while there's like cat statues around. Simone and Lena use the voodoo dolls on the others, trapping them against the wall. And then, well, this scene.
You won't get away with this!
I've been getting away with it for 200 years.
So, they're cat people. What a very weird direction to go into for a movie called Zombie Island. Let's add werecats. Why is this so damn cool? Why is this just so awesome? I like the transformation and the explanation as well. Like, it all works in such a bizarre way. Like, they explain they lived over 200 years ago when Morgan Moonscar came to the island, killing everyone besides them. So they prayed to their cat gods and became cat creatures and killed the pirates. But they were cursed, and so they have to drain the life force of anyone who came to the island, like the Civil War guys and so on. So that's why you see zombies like dressed up like the mafia or like tourists and such, but all from different generations. The explanation just works and really fits the story in a weird way. It's so stupid, but I love it. I think because it's just such a fascinating, kind of dark story when you like really think about it. Especially like when you find out the ghosts and the zombies really are warning them to stay away, not because of treasure, but to save their lives. That's a fun twist on that. So going back to moments where the zombie hands Shaggy the vine, it's literally so you can save Scooby, because they are the good guys. That's really cute. I really like it. And during this time, Scooby and Shaggy are running around outside and run into Jacques, the ferryman, who is also a cat person, because they needed a ferryman and he just wanted immortality. As you do. But he goes full cat.
I am happy to see y'all.
Oh my, big muscle cat. I love that he keeps a mustache though. And this does mean, in Scooby-Doo lore, there is a cat god who can turn people into cats. The zombies do help Shaggy and Scooby, and while the moon is in this particular spot, they need to drain their life force. But of course, Shaggy and Scooby come in and ruin their plans, knocking over voodoo dolls. Simone calls Scooby the classic meddling dog, but Scooby is still confused by him being called a dog.
Like, what are you guys doing? Charades? I've had enough of that meddling dog! Dog? Where?
And now we get the full transformation going full cat mode, which I really do love the animation. It's just so smooth and just so damn cool. I know I said that a lot, that it's so cool, but it is. I just love the look of the clothes shredding apart. The art team did just a fantastic job. So there's a fair bit of running around, Scooby and Shaggy running from not only the werecats, but the zombies too, not understanding they are trying to help. Jacques also comes in while Velma is trying to free herself from the voodoo dolls, but there's also a moment where their faces start melting. That's fun, for the kids. Also, Jacques rips off Scooby's collar. Oh no, he's naked now. Scooby and Shaggy do end up getting drained for a bit, but the others change the voodoo dolls to be Simone and Lena. So then they get thrown around the place, and in the end, they are too late. The moon is no longer in alignment, and the cats start to melt. It's very horrific.
Looks like your 9 lives are up.
Again, this is a kids movie. It's kind of horrific. It's kind of great. Like, this movie really is for fans, and not so much for children just getting into Scooby-Doo. This is for those who were into Scooby-Doo. And now that they are dead, the zombies and ghost spirits are free to rest in peace. Which, I mean, Morgan Moonscar did kill a bunch of people. He's not exactly a good guy in this. But, yeah, whatever. The movie ends with Bo revealing he was a detective trying to find out about the island's disappearances. Also, this moment with Velma is hilarious.
Jinkies! I've always been crazy about a good detective. A story, that is.
Smooth, Velma. Smooth. We get a little Daphne and Fred moment saying it's a romantic spot. Besides all the skeletons, which might be hundreds, maybe even thousands at that point, we see Snakebite one last time before the movie ends with Scooby and Shaggy having a bite to eat, but there's some cats on boards. I like the light in the eyes don't line up. God damn, I could gush about this movie all day long. It's a fantastic welcome back to Scooby-Doo and the gang. This movie has so much heart and soul put into it. You can tell they had full freedom and were clearly fans of Scooby-Doo making this movie. It has gorgeous visuals, a great story, spookiness, cool cat monsters, great zombie designs. The humor is great. The characters are great. What else can I say about this movie? It's beautiful, it's funny, it's just clearly the best Scooby-Doo movie I've ever seen. Maybe there is a better one that I will eventually watch with this little journey I'm doing, but I adore this movie so damn much. It's just a fantastic time. Obviously, I give Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island 11 out of 10 foxes. Oh yeah, this is beyond a 10 for me, but I also know I might give away a few other 10s, so I want to make sure you all know I think this particular movie is the best one I've seen. I think it's the perfect Scooby-Doo movie, as it's definitely up there as like one of my favourite movies. Even if sure, the cat god stuff is a little out of nowhere, but it's just so cool, I don't care. I'm very curious what you guys think about this movie. I know a lot of people have fond memories of this movie, and I do consider it great, but I'm curious if anyone doesn't like it. Let me know if that's the case, and also follow me on Blue Sky and Twitter, link down below. I have a PayPal and a coffee if you wish to help me out with the donations. It really helps me out. Thank you so much for everyone who does. Please do give this video a like and subscribe to my channel because I love you if you do. Hit that bell icon, and this fox says, be who you want to be. Alright guys, bye for now.